Hola, mi familia. Mi amo Amara Udagun. How? Hope all of you are doing splendid. Guys, before I get into anything now, I would like to send out my appreciation to everybody who has been sending in your feedbacks, your comments, your likes, your subscription. I see you. We're on our road to 300 and I never thought I will get here, but right now I want to appreciate the support. Please keep the support coming. Thank you so much for the support, the love, and just giving me your feedback means a whole lot. Thank you. So today on my channel I will be talking about how to get your Spanish nationality. Let's get right into this. You're welcome back. So today we'll be going right into the topic, how to get Spanish nationality. That's how to become a citizen of Spain, how to have a Spanish passport. I would like to inform you guys that Spain as a country does not operate on dual citizenship. So what does this mean? It means that if you want to apply for Spanish citizenship, you have to denounce your country of residence. So if you're an American and you come to Spain and you want to get a Spanish nationality, it means that you will no longer be an American. Yes, you will have to choose to become a Spaniard, and only a Spaniard. They don't share their citizenship with any other country, no matter where the country is or whatever. So it's very important you have this at the back of your mind. You need to denounce where you're coming from in order to become a Spanish citizenship. Not like Germany that actually operates dual citizenship. You can be a German and also be an American or an Indian. Yeah. So moving on. To get your Spanish nationality, there are different routes for different people. Now we'll be talking about a person that comes from a country, any country at all. Maybe you come from West Africa and you do not have any ties with a Spaniard. That means you're not tied to a Spaniard through maybe you don't have parents that are born as Spaniards. You do not have a spouse that is a Spaniard. Nothing. You don't have any ties to a Spaniard. So that means you're totally from another country. You will need to have stayed in Spain for a total number of 10 years. Yes, guys, you heard that right. 10 years. If you come into the country as a refugee, that means you came into the country seeking refuge in Spain, you will need to have stayed in the country for a period of 5 years. Yes, guys. 5 years is the duration in which you must have stayed before you file for Spanish nationality. If you are a citizen of countries that were colonized by Spain, or countries that speak Spanish as their language, their lingua franca, countries like Latin America, Philippines, Equatorial Guinea, and some other countries like that, you will need to have stayed in the country, Spain, for a period of 2 years. Yes, just only 2 years, because to a certain extent you already understand Spanish as a language and you can speak and converse. So you need to have stayed in the country for 2 years only. If you came into the country and you got married to a Spaniard, man or woman, as the case may be, you would have, stayed in Spain for 1 year before you file for nationality. Yes, because you're already married to a Spaniard, so you would have stayed in the country for 1 year. While if you have like a descent of Spaniard, maybe your father is a Spaniard, you can actually file for nationality after you stayed in the country for 1 year. So it's not going to be difficult to get this nationality done. One is a no-brainer. So these are the different individuals and the years in which you would need to have spent in Spain in order to file for a Spanish nationality. The next step for you is that you need to write an exam. If you came into the country, you stayed 10 years, you filed for Spanish nationality, you will need to write an exam. There are 2 different types of exams that will be written. One is the DELE A2 The second one is the CCSE. The LA2 is an exam that is going to be written, idioma exam on comprehension, and there's going to be a conversation between you and the people who set this exam. So interview whereby they ask you questions in Spanish and you respond in Spanish. The CCSE is another exam. This is basically on Spanish constitution. Exams are actually there. If you want to practice also, there is also a site you can log into and practice on past questions. And of course, questions on that site actually comes out in the real exam. So it's always good. If you go through my description box, I'll put in the link of where you can get this the practice test. So guys, check my description box for that. So after you write your exams, basically, and your result is out, you will need that certificate in order to complete your file. There are two sets of people who are not allowed to file for Spanish nationality. Number one set is students. If you're a student, you're studying in Spain, you cannot actually file for Spanish nationality. Number two are people who are tourists. You came into the country with tourist visa, and you just came to spend your money and go back to your country. So you cannot file for Spanish nationality. Moving on to the next stage. The next stage is the requirements that are needed in order to file for this Spanish nationality. Number one requirement is the passport of the country where you reside. So you need your passport. You also need your current resident permit. You need to get this in your file. You need your birth certificate. You need a police character report. If you watch my previous videos, I spoke on this, how to get your police character. So go back and watch if you need clarification. You need a marriage certificate if you are married to a Spaniard and you're filing through that means. Yeah, so you need a marriage certificate. You also need your empadronamiento, or padrón for short, padrón histórica. You need it in order to file. This will state to the government that this is the duration in which you have stayed in the country. So they need to be sure that you actually stayed that number of years. Yes. You also need the two exams that I mentioned earlier that you will have to write and pass in order to file for this nationality. Documents proving that you have paid a corresponding fee. This fee is about 100 euros. So you need a document that you get an online receipt, or you get a receipt that you have actually paid that fee. It needs to be part of your file. So these are all the things that are needed in order to file for nationality here in Spain. Other things that need to be done is that you don't need to travel. Like when I said that you need to have stayed in the country for 10 years, during that 10 years, it's good you don't travel unnecessarily out of Spain. I mean, because everything is going to be on your passport. So they're going to be seeing, your stamp out and your stamping into other countries. So it's good if you're truly looking to get nationality in Spain, try and curtail your travel. Do not travel unnecessarily. And also, you need to also avoid issues with the authority. Make sure that your name is not in any law enforcement, records for maybe illegal activities. Make sure that that does not happen, because nobody will want a citizen that is already maybe a drug addict, or somebody that sells drugs, peddles drugs, or somebody that does something that is illegal, basically. So you try and avoid anything like that. Then during that 10 years of stay or 5 years of stay with your resident permit, make sure that when your resident permit expires, do not wait for them to write you before you go and renew your resident permit. Let it be that you're a law-abiding resident of Spain. So do not wait, do not allow anything to dent that character you are, that you are actually. So try as much as possible to immediately your resident permit expires, go and renew it. They're going to be seeing all these things because everything is documented, guys. So try and do all you're supposed to do. And when you get all these documents, submit them. It will take some time before they get a response, but with everything being complete in your file, definitely you're going to get your nationality. They're going to give you a Spanish passport, and that's the end of how you can actually acquire a Spanish nationality here in Spain. Guys, for further information on this, go through my description box. For questions, check my email address in my description box, and also send me messages through my IG. You can follow me on IG at malawithebag. Thank you for watching this video, and see you on the next one. Bye guys. Hasta luego.